Hey guys, I thought I'd do a quick video rather than taking some pictures. Maybe a quick video would be better. Here's the M1 carbine that my dad gifted to me. I guess we'll start with the butt plate. I couldn't find any markings on it. And here's a screw that was used to fasten it to the stock. Here's a stock, I believe it's the Type 1 high cut wood with the I-shaped cutout for the oiler tube and sling. And here is the only markings I can find on the stock is this MPM. I think that's for National Postal Meter. Not sure what the FJA is. And there's a cross cannons cartouche. Didn't find any other markings on this side. On the other side, it says Trimble, Tennessee in there, the cutout for the sling, and didn't find any other markings down this side. Couldn't find anything on the inside either. Notice this one has that bridge. There are some tooling marks in here. I thought maybe that was a mark at first, but it just looks like maybe a plunge cut with a router maybe. Didn't find any markings on any of these flat surfaces on the top. And there's nothing on the bottom either. I've seen on some there's markings there, and on this face of the hand grip area, as well as in this area here as far as overhaul marks go. And this one doesn't have anything, so I don't know if that's unusual or not. I think I read somewhere that sometimes they weren't marked if they had been overhauled. As far as the handguard goes, I didn't find any external markings on it anywhere. On the underside, on the flat, there's a TN there. I'm assuming for Tennessee, so I'm thinking this handguard goes with this stock, or made by the same company anyway. Here's the recoil plate. It is, according to the Army manual, it is the new type, wherein this portion here is straight, almost like an I shape. I believe the original ones were, there was more metal material down here than up here, like it was angled. And there's a, I believe it says LN. I haven't looked up that marking yet. So I don't know if this was original to the gun with the receiver or not. It has this type screw with the partial threads. It's about the last ½ inch is threaded. And here's the receiver. Probably won't be able to see. I was able to get the serial number by using a magnifying glass, and right above it, it does say STDPRO for standard products. And I looked the serial number up, and it dates to manufacture from, I think, September 43 to January 44. The only other markings other than this US carbine caliber 30 M1, the only other marking I found on the receiver is this, looks like an 8, is stamped on the side of the receiver, kind of corresponding in the same area as the pin lug for the trigger group. So not sure what that means. Couldn't find any other markings anywhere else. And couldn't see anything on the piston. There may have been something there at one time, but it looks like it's worn. As far as the barrel goes, it says Underwood 1243, and it has that symbol there. and it does have a P, probably about 5 inches from the muzzle on the top of the barrel. Has the older style barrel band. It's the skinny one that doesn't have the hole in it for capturing this part of the stock, this spring keeper. And then the top of it has a screw there on the left hand top side for tightening it down, and that also captures the front sling swivel. Couldn't really find any markings on that either. I think I read that those may or may not be marked. And the front sight is an end stamp there. And then the trigger group, the only markings I found is this ST. And again, I haven't disassembled this. The sear does have a SW stamp, but I'm not sure as far as the hammer. Really don't see anything on the exposed parts here. Again, I didn't disassemble this to look at the mag release or the safety or anything to see if there were any other markings. This does have the older style push button safety. I think they changed these out for the rotating type because I think soldiers and Marines were inadvertently hitting the mag release thinking it was for safety, I think is the reasoning behind that. Could be wrong, but I think that's what I read. But I actually prefer this type, so I'm glad that's what it has. And then charging handle and slide, the only markings I could find is that circled S in the floor there. Couldn't find anything else on it. The bolts I couldn't find, and of course, like I said, this wasn't disassembled either, so I don't know if there's markings on the firing pin or on the ejector or anything. The only markings I found is this 31S on the lug that engages the charging handle, and there's a really small, I had to look at it with a magnifying glass, it looks like an 8 in a magnifying glass there, so I couldn't find any other markings on that. Nothing on the spring or the guide rod. Nothing on the trigger group pin. And here's the magazines. I have 2 15 rounds. One is stamped MN, and this magazine functioned when we shot it 100%. And this one is stamped U, same thing. We use this one, it worked fine. Then there's an M2 30 rounder, and this one is stamped AI. I looked these all up on some website, and I think they all corresponded to something from the World War II period. So this serial number, the date this was produced, and then the barrel was December 43. I think that corresponds, and I think I read that Standard Products didn't make barrels, and the Underwood was one of the barrels that you'll find with the Standard Products receiver. So I'm betting that that's probably how it left the factory. The oiler tube, I don't know if you'll be able to get this or if it'll focus, but it says either SI or IS, depending on how you hold it. And the little oiler piece, this knurled piece does unthread, and it's got the little oiler pin that you use. And here's the sling that it came with. It's OD green. There's no markings on it anywhere, but it does feel old. It feels fragile actually. And there's some parts here that are, it seems like it frays really easy. So I may leave this off and maybe get like a reproduction one to put on it if I'm gonna take it and shoot it and stuff. and I have a ammo pack or magazine holder, and this must have been issued at some time, because when I was in the military, we marked things with the last letter of your, or first letter of your last name and last four of your social, which this is what that appears to be. No markings on it anywhere, so I don't know if this is World War II vintage or Korean War. Maybe you guys can tell me. He gave me some ammo. I have 5 boxes of old ammo. 2 of them, I thought I had 6, but there's only 5. 2 of them are open, and the ammo is head stamp 43. I'm assuming that's 1943. And then I've got 8 stripper clips. Haven't stripped any of these rounds off, so I don't know how old those are. And then I have some commercial and reloaded ammo, as well as this is an older, later tech manual and Air Force TO. I think this is, yeah, it's from February 1953. Also, I didn't point this out. It does have the correct part number, adjustable rear sight. I don't think that's the sight that came with this rifle, so it seems odd to me that it has this, but yet doesn't have the newer style, or the bayonet lug style barrel band. So I don't know if maybe some of these had this put on towards the end of the war, or why exactly that is. Maybe somebody can tell me. Anyway, just thought I'd do a video instead of pictures. I hope this was a little bit more encompassing than just a couple photos. So let me know what you guys think. Alright, appreciate it.